Okay, so it looks like the baby is coming now. Those two are really freaking out. So Belladonna is a genius and perceptive. All right, and with that, Chauncey has gone from being a young adult to a full-fledged adult. And I guess now he's also going through a midlife crisis. Hey there guys, gals, and non-binary pals. This is Jorah, and welcome back to another episode of our Sims 3 Legacy Challenge. It's the wee early morning hours, and I actually had Azalea up just a little bit earlier, taking care of Belladonna. And as you can see, she is once again experiencing a rather mysterious nausea. Chauncey, meanwhile, is still experiencing his midlife crisis, and I can't seem to get him to flirt properly. Or rather, he flirts just fine, it just won't seem to satisfy his wish. So it is a bit annoying because that wish will be taking up that spot until Chauncey's midlife crisis is over, but we'll just go ahead and deal with the consequences another day. And it looks like Chauncey wants to kiss Azalea, so we can go ahead and promise that wish. We might not be able to do anything about that though until after he's back from the McDuff's party. Just immediately help yourself to their fridge. I can dig that. There doesn't seem to be a lot of people at this party, unless they're all upstairs? No, it's just looking like it's only Flint's family here. I don't know, Chauncey, I'm a bit at a loss here. We'll just have you clean up and go back home. Alright, so Azalea is pregnant once again, and it looks like this time she wants to have a girl. And funny enough, Chauncey wants to have a boy this time. We'll go ahead and lock that in. With our spares, I do intend on having them stay in the household, and this is for a couple of reasons. Firstly, I honestly feel like I do get attached to them as they grow up, and thus I tend to get pretty invested in whether or not they do accomplish their lifetime wish. So it just never feels right sending them out into the world and sacrificing them to the flow of time in the neighborhood. The second reason is a bit of a morbid one, though honestly does go hand in hand in the whole getting attached to the spares. And that simply is, I like collecting ghosts. So Chauncey is going to work today, so we'll go ahead and have him take care of his needs and get ready for work. Now that he is a fully grown adult, I do feel that we need to get him to the top of his career as quickly as possible. And it is Belladonna's birthday today, so she will be turning into a toddler. I'm both excited and kind of honestly anxious just because the toddler stage can be a little hectic. And especially with her sibling on the way, I do fear that Azalea might not have the time to leave the house quite as often. Like, I know we could just hire a babysitter and let her go about town as she pleases, but honestly, I feel like the babysitter never actually takes care of the baby's needs. And coming back home from that always just stresses me out. So I do have a weird tendency to keep my Sims at home. At least until the toddlers grow into children and are at least able to kind of take care of themselves and go to school for most of the day. And thankfully I do have Azalea as a self-employed writer, so she could potentially do all of her work from home. And that definitely doesn't make things easier. After all, Azalea basically has 2 jobs right now. But her work performance isn't based off of whether or not she comes into work well rested. She just needs to have enough of her needs met in order to just continue on writing when she's not taking care of the children. Excellent. Great job, Chauncey. This should put him at level 8 of the journalism career, which means we only have 2 more levels left until he's accomplished his lifetime wish. We just really need to work on his writing if we want him to progress. So once Chauncey does get home, we'll go ahead and have him play some video games so that he can take care of his stress. And then Azalea will continue to work on her novel. And I'm hoping, if I remember, I will actually go ahead and put a birthday cake out so that we can celebrate Belladonna's birthday. I'm also kind of thinking with this small influx of money, as well as a new child on the way, it might behoove us to go ahead and expand the house just a little bit more. Okay, so this is what we have so far. This is a probably strange statement to say 7 episodes in, but I feel the need to admit that I'm not a really good builder at all in this game. I tend to make really weird layouts for the houses, which end up kind of being a nightmare for the Sims routing, which admittedly can sometimes be a little funny, but most of the time can be a little annoying. Additionally, I don't know if you've noticed this, but I have a tendency to build around my Sims rather than actually just have them vacate the house for just a couple of minutes. So it gets a little weird trying to actually build things up sometimes. So for example, I'm kind of thinking of making this back area a kind of temporary playroom for our toddlers. So of course, with Belladonna still in her crib, I'm not actually able to move it until I actually get her out of the crib. And of course, I'm not going to wait for Azalea to actually move out of the way to build up the room. The walls will just come up around her. In a funny sense, I do like to think of the surreal horror of just 1 minute walking into an area and then the next minute a whole other room has appeared, just completely out of thin air. So ultimately this is where I'm going to leave the building for now, just because we're almost out of funds once again. And I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it on the trajectory that it's been going, because truthfully a part of me really does just want to demolish the whole thing and start again. Ideally when all of the Sims are out of the house. For now though, it does seem like it should be sufficient for the family as it is. So I wanted to have Chauncey work on his writing, but it looks like we can write a review on a restaurant. If I'm not mistaken, that's a specific thing for his career in journalism, and it is something that he does need to work on in order to advance, so we'll do that. And for a nice chill evening, we'll have these two working back to back on their writing projects. Ooh, wait, no, we know this dog. You're going to be better than Azalea. I think this dog might be a stray, and if that's the case, I would actually love to adopt this dog. So get your butt out there and actually go make friends, Azalea. Okay, a little rude that Sassy knocked over our trash, but she's probably just hungry. I don't know, if we can be friends with her, she'll never have to go hungry again. We might not have a lot of funds, but we will take such good care of her. Oh god, I forgot about Belladonna's birthday. Well, I'm definitely disappointed in myself for forgetting, but that's okay. We'll make sure to be a little more on top of celebrating next time around. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and call the episode here. Thank you all so much for tuning in this week. If you like this video, comments and likes are always greatly appreciated. And if you're enjoying this series, feel free to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss an episode. New episodes are posted every Tuesday, and there should be more to come soon. With that said, thank you all so much, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye, everybody!